I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. I coach people at generally a senior level. I coach people into new roles. I function as an ally through the job search in order to ensure that someone has your back, that you've got an advisor to talk with who doesn't have a vested interest in you taking a particular job. And this is another one of those tough interview questions that you may be asked in the course of your search. It could be masked in a variety of different ways, in different language, but ultimately it comes down to, so why did you take my call? Now, the wrong answer is to start talking about some of your frustration at work. The wrong answer is to complain or criticize. Why? Because it gives the other firm or the recruiter leverage, a lever to pry you with at a point down the road when there's a negotiation going on. You will find your words parroted back to you because one thing I know about corporate recruiters, third-party recruiters, hiring managers, they're great note takers, right? You're a great note taker. Or your memory is fabulous and you remember these things. And at the point of an offer, it's going to be put back at you for some reason in order to find out whether they can get you for less, whether they can get you for slightly different than what they've spoken with you about at the onset. So again, no criticism. And I know you're not going to go out of your way to criticize your current boss or your current organization. You know that reflects badly on you. But the instinct is to suddenly confess things that are completely unnecessary to talk about. Here's how I'd like you to approach the answer. Doesn't matter if you're at a very senior level, doesn't matter if you're at a junior level or a staff level. The way you respond to it is by saying something along the lines of, it didn't take me a long time to notice that the person who gets ahead isn't always the smartest or work the hardest, although those are great qualities to have. People get ahead by being alert to opportunities. Sometimes those opportunities are internal to their organization. Often they're external. So I took the call in order to understand more about this opportunity because what you presented to me was interesting, but I don't know if I'm ready to go all in on this. So I want to know more. And what you've done is put it back on them. And I don't want to say present yourself as ambivalent, but you're presenting yourself in a neutral way as opposed to the active job hunter. See, firms think active job hunters, people who are aggressively looking for work, are inferior potential hires to those who are being, quote unquote, recruited. And as such, you always want to present yourself in as neutral a way as possible so that in this way, they're thinking of you as hard to get. And in hard to get, and I'm not talking about at the very end. We can talk about that another time, but in the course of the initial formulation and the initial conversation, you don't want to present yourself as the active job hunter. At a certain point, you can transition more into the role of being someone who's very interested in the job. But for now, you're in a fact-finding mode, and that's the way you want to present it. You want to understand more about their opportunity, the potential for you there, how it could benefit you, potential compensation, because they're going to always ask you about your money unless you're in a state or a jurisdiction where that's no longer a legal question. But you always want to present yourself at a place and at a level where you're eliciting information from them about what they're prepared to pay to see whether it's in line with what your expectations would be. So again, the way to answer it is by saying, it didn't take me long when I started in my career to realize that the person who gets ahead isn't always the smartest. They're not always the hardest working, although those are great qualities to have. People get ahead by being alert to opportunities. Sometimes they're internal to their organization. Often they're external, and that's the smoothest way to handle that question. Hope you found this helpful. If you're interested in my coaching you, first reach out to me through LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the big game hunter. Mention that you saw this. I'd love to know that what I've done has been helpful. And also want to mention that once we are connected, you can message me back and we can schedule time to talk about coaching. Last thing I wanted to say to you is I have 2 podcasts that you might enjoy. They're the number 1 and number 2 podcasts in Apple Music, or as it used to be called, iTunes, about job search. More episodes than any other show by far. The 2 shows are No BS Job Search Advice, and the second one is called Job Search Radio. Subscribe to both shows. You'll get great information 7 days a week in the case of the first show, 6 days a week in the case of the second show. Again, more than 1,000 episodes on one and over 700 on the other. Hope you have a great day. Take care.